We very much see climate change happening. In the last 4 years, we have had 3 times where our high holidays have been threatened by hurricanes.
We have only 10 years to make radical reductions.
Climate change is so huge that if we really were to face it completely, we just wouldn't be able to function. It's okay to live with a certain amount of denial, but it's not okay not to do anything. The Jewish community needs to take a role in this, take an active role in this, and have a moral voice and be expressing concern by having the Jewish Climate Action Network. We're also putting the word out there that the Jewish community cares.
And it's not just a bunch of people sitting around talking about how we'd like to do things. It's people who, as soon as we get a viable idea, we move.
You need 10 people to say Kaddish, so you need a group of people together to get something happen. Because if one person, stops driving their car, that's one person. But if a whole community makes a commitment to reducing something together that impacts the planet.
Put signs at every solar house. They're going to have a sign so that people will see that solar has become really normal here. So the teens made
1.5 kilowatts on the main roof of the temple. It's important that you have a good south-facing roof.
Food gardening they're going to do, that they do it in ways that are part of the climate solution.
Date back from 1860 and 1882, and these pipes are still in use. That means there's a pipe under the ground that was installed when President Lincoln was still alive.
Adonai Natan, Adonai Lekach, Yehi Shem Adonai Mevarach. God gives, God takes away, blessed be the name of God.
I spent a lot of time outdoors, but I was in a place that was bringing me safety and healing and joy, and so from a very young age, it was a place of healing and support and strength.
I've always been involved as an advocate and a volunteer. I see that Jews have always been caring, concerned citizens. I wanted the Jewish community, synagogues, other Jewish institutions, to play leading roles in climate action.
I've been involved with social justice activism almost since birth, but I was brought up with a very strong sense of obligation to make the benefits of our society available to everyone.
I was drawn to climate work going way back to 1984 when I was mobilized by seeing what was going on with the Ethiopian famine and the link to climate change, which even back then was articulated.
I was brought up by an Orthodox mother and a theoretical physicist father, and they taught me the values of compassion and curiosity. And I think I fell in love with nature then. 4 o'clock in the morning in the desert at Death Valley. It was life-changing.
I'm hoping to major in environmental studies at Tulane University. We would compost at camp, and we would be aware of where our food comes from and living minimally. This is the environment that I live in, and it's important.
The ultimate goal of JCAN is to be a motivator, a support, a cheerleader for congregations, for Jews, for Jewish institutions.
One of JCAN's jobs is to help each synagogue green team to realize that the challenges they face are almost exactly the same in the next synagogue and the next synagogue.
I have created a webinar about how to divest from fossil fuels and what to do with your money once you've divested from fossil fuels, and how you can seek impact with your investments.
I'm leading this team. It's all about how we're going to use agriculture and forestry to help sequester carbon, or as we sometimes like to think of it, putting the carbon back where it belongs.
And that JCAN is providing a place for people that are really invested, interest, curious about how to use Jewish values and Jewish story and Jewish experience to fight climate change, to find that community of people they can interact with, that they can study with, and that they can act from.
It is clear that systemic racism and climate disruption are deeply intertwined, and that we can't effectively move forward in combating either without the other.
The successes that I've seen is community. I think that right now people are desperate for community.
We have partnerships with organizations within the Jewish community, with interfaith organizations, with secular organizations.
Representatives from almost 100 synagogues, and in each of those cases, somebody has committed to at least do something.
North American Federation of Temple Youth. There, I met environmentally focused and aware teens, the people that I've met in Jewish settings that have inspired me or kind of led me toward this way.
JCAN, like so many other nonprofits, has the problem of limited resources. Are we going to put our resources into working on sustainability or on the more holistic problems of food and waste and water and advocacy? People are suffering all over this planet because of climate change. People are really, really suffering. Tikkun Olam, the repair of the world, that's a foundational part. We just need to be constantly making the world a better place.
If it's not on your radar, then we're not on the right track. It needs to be on everyone's radar if we're gonna make a difference and make it so that this planet is livable for our own children and grandchildren. I just think it's just so vital.
Rabbi Tarvin teaches us, Lo alecha amlacha ligmor, v'ata lo ben chorin libatel mimena. We are not required to complete the work, but neither are we free to refrain from it. Lador vador, from generation to generation, there's a lot in Judaism about passing things along. Well, it's really, really basic to think about the fact that we want to pass this world along to the next generation in a way that's livable and survivable. And that's pretty basic.